What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another deadline stream. It is double game week 27. We are finally round to the double game week that we all wildcarded for, and it all went horribly wrong last week. But we have double game week 27 here now for us to talk about. We'll be talking about my team. We'll be talking about your teams, answering your questions. We'll be having a look at any potential weather watch, although it seems to be spoken about much less on Twitter today in the past 12 hours than it has been previously. So it looks like we should hopefully all be in the clear with that one. We'll be talking a lot about captaincy because that's where a lot of the questions are going to lie, I imagine, today. And yeah, just generally talking about the upcoming game week. Before we get started, before we do questions and stuff, do say hello if you are in the chat. We will do our usual round of hellos before we get into the questions, before we get into the Q&A and sort of general discussion. My team is up on screen now. I'm pretty much locked in, to be honest. I don't see anything changing from me this week, apart from potentially the bench order, but Martinelli's going to be first. It's just who I put second and third on my bench. So, good morning to Ali, Ola, Matthew, Cheekster, John, Paul, Nicolaj. Good morning to all the members in the chat this morning. Akwe, John, FPL Clue, Richard, Linford, Favour, Bob, Frederick, Spurs, Caroline. Who else have we got? Football Shirt Collector, Linford, Nathan Ali, Jason, Wilhelm, Kazarek, Joe Man, Tatong, Football Shirt Collector, again, hello, relaxed, Puran, Ahmed, and hello and good morning to every single one of you who's decided to tune in to my deadline stream for game week 27. So yeah, as I said, my team for this week is looking like it is on screen. Thank you for those asking about how I'm feeling. I am better. I am not fully mended though. I am still on road to recovery, hence a bit of a later start to the stream. Before we go, again, just if you guys could make sure you have liked the stream and subscribed if you are new around here. We are closing in on 48,000 subscribers, so thank you all very much for your support over the past season, or however long you have been subscribed for as well. Would I play Saka or Martinelli? Well, I've got Saka in my starting lineup with Martinelli first sub, so that's where I am going. Saka first and then Martinelli the one on the bench. So I would start Saka out of the two. Didn't mean to spam. Don't you worry. No problem at all. Hello. Haaland is blanking tonight. So Haaland to Nunes for this week. I wouldn't sell Haaland this week. I do think selling him going into game week 28 is a possibility, and it's something I'll talk about in my videos next week, I imagine. But I don't think it's worth selling him this week, especially to Darwin, who doesn't play in game week. Darwin doesn't play in game week 28 anyway, so if you were going to make that move, I'd be looking for a player who either has a double this week or potentially looking to make a move to someone who at least plays next week. We did have a captaincy poll in the chat with Toney winning with 56% of the votes, Mitoma second, March/McAllister third, and then 4 of you going with someone completely different. Odegaard fit. So Odegaard had illness apparently, which is why he missed the Europa League game on Thursday evening. I'm expecting Odegaard to be fine. So if you have him, I wouldn't worry. I think he'll be okay. Going Solly March captain. I wouldn't do Solly March captain just because of those. He keeps saying, oh, Solly March is available. He's available to be for a selection. It just makes me think that he's not fully fit, which with 2 games in quick succession does worry me a little bit for Solly March. So I'm not sure I'd be captaining March, to be completely honest. FPL Thinker, thank you for joining the channel as a member, as a vice captain member. Thank you very much. Of course, you get all your questions in the chat answered and on videos as well. Torn between who to bench, Saka or Martinelli. Yeah, so I'd be benching Martinelli as I am with my team. Is it worth going a -4 to transfer Leno to Steele? My keepers will be Steele and Kepa. Who does Leno play this week? If you're going to bench boost in game week 29, then yes, because it adds an extra fixture to your game week 29. Adds an extra fixture for your game week 29 bench boost as well. So yeah, I probably would for a -4 do that. It is the FPL Harry League Cup starting this week, so do go and check your opponents to see who you are playing against if you are in the league. What's the solution for Sanchez? Transfer to Steele for a -4, only if you need them to play this week. As I said I answered a few of your questions in my team selection video. Basically, I wouldn't make that sideways move unless you need them this week, unless you're like bench boosting this week for a -4. But it depends what your team looks like for game week 29. Sorry, my voice. But I don't think Sanchez gets his I don't think Sanchez gets his place back anytime soon. You can smell my hangover. Your face looks funny. It's not a hangover. I've just not been very well. So it's nothing more than that. Nothing more than that. Will I bench boost? No, bench boost is still being saved for game week 29, where I'll have more double game week players on my bench. My bench does look strong this week, and I'm fully expecting there to be some returns on my bench this week, but I still think game week 29, there'll be more points on my bench than there will be this week. Thoughts on Maddison? Maddison is worth it keeping, of course. If you bought him last week, I'd keep him. I wouldn't be buying him, especially this week where he has Chelsea at home. Let's see how Leicester get on this week. But a 1-0 loss to Southampton doesn't necessarily fill you with confidence. He did look pretty good, and Leicester did look pretty good in that game. They probably should have, well, they were unlucky not to get at least a point out of that game. So, yeah. Triple captain this week? Probably not, because game week 34, especially if you're playing your bench boost in game week 29, game week 34, it looks like no one will be playing that many chips. You might end up playing your free hit, but the chances are you won't. And so you might have a City double game week in there. And I think saving it for Haaland in game week 29 is probably where I'm at. The reason that I'm on a Toney captain over a Mitoma captain. So Brentford are not quite as good away from home as they are at home. I do get that, but yeah, Toney's not as good away from home, Brentford are not as good away from home as they are at home, but Toney is equally good at performing. If Brentford get a couple of goals, the chance of Toney being involved is very high. The chance of Mitoma, for example, it being the others, it being March, McAllister, it being Ferguson, that are getting in and getting the returns, the chance of that happening is there. So I just think the chance of getting a return with Toney is there. You know, if he scores, the bonus points are already like rolling in for him as well. The chance of that happening are pretty decent. So I'm happy on my Toney captain. He's also winning the captaincy poll. I don't know if that's completely down to just that's what my team is doing. But yeah, this is how I think I'm going to be lining up for this week. There's people asking about the weather in the chat. To be honest, if they haven't said anything about the games by the time the deadline comes, given that they are 3:00 games, and to get from Brighton to Leeds, you're going to have to leave a reasonable amount of time anyway. I don't think there's anything really to worry about, as well as Brentford up to Everton. You'd have thought they'd give fans a reasonable amount of notice. So yeah. Toney's about to get suspended if he gets a yellow card. No, he needs 2 yellow cards, which means he can't be suspended for either of the games in the double game week. He could be suspended for the next double, which would be annoying, but he can't be suspended for this. He needs 2 more yellow cards to pick up that suspension. You have Sanchez. Should you take him out? Yes, I don't think Sanchez gets his place back in that Brighton team anytime soon, to be honest. I think Steele will definitely start both this double. If he has one horrific game, then maybe we see Sanchez come back in. But even in that case, I don't necessarily think it. I don't think that's going to be the case. So start Trippier over Dyer. Yeah, if you've got Trippier this week. A few people have asked about Trippier versus the Arsenal defence as well. I'd just be on Trippier. The Arsenal defence is good. They are away at Fulham though. The Newcastle fixture is definitely better. And Trippier's attacking numbers are really, really good as well. So double Brentford defence or Zinchenko, and I'd just double up on Brentford defence. Play each player individually, I think, this week. Just take the double game week fixture. Fulham do look good at home, so yeah. I back Fulham to score. As long as we avoid 2 yellow cards, straight red. That's true, straight red. But in the first game, bringing back Dennis memories. It's true. But that could happen. That could happen to anyone, right? Could happen to anyone. Thank you all, 1,100 of you for joining. Only 100 of you have liked the stream though. So if you guys could like the stream, subscribe if you are new, and make sure you voted in the captaincy poll as well. Do I think Haaland is a priority starter? I was thinking of a midfielder over him. If you're brave enough to start an Arsenal midfielder over Haaland, then go for it. But I don't have it in me to be doing that, to be completely honest. So yeah, it's a no from me. What are we going to do if Haaland scores a hat-trick and Toney blanks? I mean, it's unlikely, but it's possible, right? It's just going to sum up this wild card if something like that does happen. But even if I hadn't have wild carded, my captaincy wouldn't be on Erling Haaland this week, I don't think. Just because, again, his returns have been okay, but like 17 he hauled, 21 he hauled, and then 25 he got 10. He's not like massively hauled at really a couple of games, but it's not nearly as consistent as it was in the first half of the season. FPL Thinker, what did you say? Sorry. Tarkowski to a Estupiñán from -4. He'd start instead of Botman. Otherwise, I was thinking Tarkowski to Shaw from -4. I like the Estupiñán move, to be honest. You might want to find a way to get Luke Shaw. Sorry, that was going to be really loud. You might want to find a way to get Luke Shaw in Gameweek 29 anyway, but yeah, I would take that -4 for Estupiñán this week. Should I have Haaland or Salah for just this week? If I could only pick one, I'd pick Salah over Haaland this week, I think. Yeah. Triple captain, Toney. Yeah, it's not for me. I'd be saving my triple captain for... I'd be saving my triple captain for Gameweek 29. FPL Harry, the only stream I need to get through everything in a short time. Love you, bro. Thank you very much. I've had a few nice comments about my content recently on videos as well, which is nice. Helps boost the mood, definitely. Henry or Pinnock? Yeah, a few of you are asking that. I would probably just about go Pinnock based off what I saw against Fulham, but that might be a tactical thing. But Pinnock was playing pretty advanced at times, so Henry was also very good. Pinnock did score a deflected goal, which you can say is very much recency bias for me recommending him. But if I was buying one, I still think I think I'd buy Pinnock if I was buying one this week. I definitely wouldn't be buying Ben Mee. It's just a lot of money to be spending on someone that I don't think is a better asset than the other cheaper Brentford defenders. So, should you transfer out Odegaard? I personally think Odegaard will play, so I wouldn't stress too much if you've got him. But a lot of you might be benching. Bench boost, yeah, it's a good bench this week, right? But I'm not playing it this week. Chilwell versus Trippier. Trippier, I'd go for the home fixture there. Watkins for Haaland. I wouldn't make the move this week because Watkins away at West Ham or Haaland away at Palace. You'd probably rather have Haaland in your team, right? But it's a move that I, myself, and a lot of people will consider going into 28 when Haaland blanks and then has Liverpool, whereas Watkins has Bournemouth and then has the double game week. Shouldn't I play Botman before Zinchenko? I mean, it's pretty close, to be honest. I've already got Trippier in my starting lineup, so I'm a bit like trying to diversify a little bit what's going on there. It's pretty close. Botman maybe has slightly better clean sheet potential, but Zinchenko does have the bonus in the attacking threat more than Botman does. So, captain is Stupinan. It's not. No, the attacking returns are not consistent enough. They are playing two teams which do score enough goals, so probably, it's a no from me. Saka to Alexis McAllister. I probably wouldn't because Saka has 2 games over the next 2 game weeks, right? Whereas McAllister has 2 games over the next 2 game weeks because he has a double this week and then blanks next week. So, yeah, I wouldn't move your Arsenal assets out this week for Brighton players because it just puts you in a difficult position next week. I've not seen the rumours, I've just seen the sort of quotes, etc. that have been going around about March, etc. I think he should be fine for this one. But it's maybe the midweek one, which is why I wouldn't be captaining Solly March this week. Am I rolling the transfer this week? Yeah, I'm pretty confident to say that I'm going to lock my team in as it is. Conte's lost the dressing room. You think Kane should bench and start Martinelli? I just can't bench Kane at home to Nottingham Forest. I know Martinelli's looked really good. He looks so good in the Europa League as well. But I can't own Harry Kane. Part of the reason I wildcarded last week was to buy Harry Kane, and to wildcard, buy Harry Kane and then bench him at home for Forest just feels very, very wrong. So no, I won't be doing that. Saka or Odegaard for start? I'd go Saka just because there is that little bit of doubt about Odegaard starting because he's had illness, but I think he should be fine. Thinking of Almiron as wanting an additional Newcastle player. So I did talk about Almiron in my transfer plans video this week because they have a good fixture this week at home to Wolves. They play Nottingham Forest in the blank next week. And then in 29, they have a double of United at home, West Ham away, which is okay. I don't hate it, but that's probably not where I'd be going. I'd buy a Brighton mid over him just because they have the same amount of fixtures over the next 2 game weeks, next 3 game weeks anyway. They both play 4 times. So I wouldn't buy Almiron over a Brighton midfielder at all. I'd probably buy a Brentford midfielder over Almiron at the moment, to be honest. When am I going to bench boost? Yeah, so bench boost is going to be played in game week 29. Start Watkins or Martinelli. I'd play Martinelli out of the 2. I'm not happy about having to bench my Arsenal guys. But it is what it is. If you have a way of starting them, like if you have Watkins, for example, then it's easier. I'd be starting your Arsenal guys if you can. Am I going to free hit next week? No. So next week I have 3 Brighton that don't play. I have Haaland and I have Rashford that don't play. So that's 5, which leaves me with 9 players. And I plan on selling Erling Haaland with 1 transfer, which will give me 10 players out next week. So I don't think I'll need to free hit. I will do a free hit next week video for you guys. but it's not something that I plan on doing myself. But I know it will be very popular because people will walk into 28 with a reasonable amount of blank game week players in their team. So yeah. March captain better than Toney? No, just because I'm not confident he starts both. With the ongoing, oh, is he fit? Isn't he fit? Stuff that is going around. So yeah, it's a no from me at the moment. Would I start Saka or Martinelli? I'd start Saka as I am on penalties, just that little extra boost. Thanks for the great channel. I appreciate all the kind words. Salah a viable captain option. I just wouldn't ever consider this week not captaining a double game week player when you have two teams in good form with two good fixtures each. I don't think I'd be putting the Captaincy armband on Mo Salah, especially given it's the early kickoff as well. He'll have been up at 8 o'clock this morning eating pasta, so. Start Maddison or Odegaard? Odegaard. Yeah, Odegaard. On a wild card, March or McAllister. McAllister, Mitoma, I'd probably go on the wild card. What are my benefits of holding off the bench boost this week? When do I plan to play it? I plan to play it in game week 29 because, for example, Kepa will have a double game week that week. Botman will have a double game week as well that week. So there's a couple of extra fixtures in there as well. So I just plan on saving it for game week 29. Hello, Harry. Good morning. How am I doing today? I'm all right, thank you. Oscar is captaining March. What do I think about that? I'm not doing it, and he'd probably be bottom of my list of the sort of people that people have spoken about in terms of attackers this week. But I can understand why Oscar's doing it. It's a risk, but if it pays off, it'll be a massive gain for him. So you didn't play a wild card last week. What would be your plan in this scenario? Well, I don't know what your team looks like this week, how many Brighton Brentford you have, and I don't know what it looks like next week as well with the amount of players you have out in the blank game week. Yeah, so I think there will still be people who wildcard this week and wildcard next week as well. Good differential, trying to get ahead in your mini league. I mean, McAllister's pretty low owned, and I do like the way he's performing at the moment. You're probably best off waiting to the likes of Game Week 29 if you're looking for big differentials, because there's so many teams that double that you can easily find some decently low owned differentials that week. Do I think removing all Arsenal players for 29 and not getting them back after that is fine based on their fixtures? Their fixtures from 29 are more difficult. Leeds at home that week, but of course it's the week that people have a double. Liverpool away, West Ham away, Southampton at home, City away, Chelsea, Newcastle, like it is, and then Brighton, like it is a difficult run for them. But I don't know whether I want to sell all of them, just because you probably expect them to win a decent amount of those games if they're going to continue to push for the title. So I don't think I could bring myself to I don't think I could bring myself to do that, to sell all of them. I'll likely lose Martinelli and I'll likely lose Zinchenko, but I don't think I'll lose Saka. Harry Kane will score today. I'm hoping so. He needs to repay the faith with a goal and some bonus points, hopefully. Hopefully. If forced to play Martinelli, who to bench, Zinchenko or Trippier? I'd bench Zinchenko before I bench Trippier, as I'm doing in my team. Would I punt on Zaha? No, I don't think so. What do they do next week? So in 29, they have Leicester at home, which is okay, but they don't double. And they have Arsenal away. No, I don't think so. Just because after this week, they have a difficult fixture in 28 and then they don't double in 29. McAllister, Pinnock or March, Henry? McAllister, Pinnock, probably. Yeah. Good morning. Should I remove Odegaard or Maddison from McAllister? Wildcard in 26, so the rest of your team is template 26. I mean, I'd probably say Odegaard just because the double for Leicester in 29 is really good. So you'll probably much prefer to have Maddison in 29 than you will have Odegaard. So, and then in 30 they play Bournemouth at home. So yeah, I would be I'd be keeping Maddison before I kept Odegaard, I think, this week. Salah and Haaland this game week. They're fine assets. They're good assets. Of course, they don't double. But what do I think about Chelsea's decent form recently? I mean, we beat Dortmund and we beat Leeds. But yeah, I'm not filled with loads of confidence. I'm okay with Kepa in home games. And I'm okay with Kepa generally. Chilwell looks like an okay asset at the moment. But should I play me, Henry, or Hickey at the back? I'd probably buy Henry. I'd probably get Henry. Opinion on Almiron. So I just spoke about Almiron. I don't dislike Almiron, but I don't think I'd buy him over a Brighton midfielder this week. They have the same number of fixtures over the next 3 game weeks, so I'd be buying a Brighton midfielder or a Brentford midfielder probably over Almiron this week anyway. So what about Steele this week? If you need a keeper that's going to double, I don't mind buying Steele. It looks like he's going to keep his place. Should I bring Felix in for Haaland? Not this week. You might want to look at it next week, but I think there's other forwards that people will prioritise next week anyway. Like the likes of Watkins, maybe even Iheanacho as well. I don't think Felix will end up being that popular. For anyone wondering, this is it's yellow, so it disappears in the green screen. But this is the Y food that I talked about in my team selection video. And if you guys are interested, there is a link in the description. It always helps me when I don't have time to have breakfast before my deadline streams. There's a link in the description. It's got a nutritionally complete drink, smart food that, just keeps me full while I'm trying to stream or when I'm busy as well. Who to sell for Mitoma, Martinelli or Maddison? Again, it's similar. Probably Martinelli. It depends who you're starting this week. If you can bench Maddison this week, then sell Martinelli because Maddison double in game week 29 and then Bournemouth at home in game week 30 for Maddison is nice. Mitoma or Toney captain. So I am on a Ivan Toney captaincy this week. I'm on an Ivan Toney captaincy this week just because 1 goal means bonus. Very enthusiastic about the sponsor. I really like it. I have it quite a lot actually. So sorry if it didn't come across because I'm not feeling that great, but I really like it. Why is Zinchenko over Shaw in game week 29? Game week 29, I'll probably do Zinchenko to Shaw. That's the plan anyway. That's the plan from game week 29. Mitoma, come on, let's go. What's the poll saying? Poll still favours Toney with 2,500 votes on it. Mitoma second, 23. And then you've got the other Brighton mids. No transfers this week, no. No transfers this week. Start Felix or Odegaard. Odegaard. You look stylish today. I love the compliments in the chat. Really is a morale booster. Would I do Sanchez and Martinelli to Mitoma and Raya for a -4? Probably if you're going to need to start both of them this week anyway. Yes. Any news on Leeds' weather problem? No, there's nothing. I wouldn't worry about it. If it's not announced pre-deadline, I'd be shocked if anything. if anything happens. I'd be shocked if anything happens. Who to start, Maddison or Martinelli? Martinelli this week, but longer term, Maddison's probably because he doubles and then has Bournemouth. So yeah, guys, so bright in here. Triple captain Toney. Nope, I'd be saving your triple captaincy if you've got it. Should you sell Gnonto? Yeah, well, and I don't know if you're starting Gnonto this week. If it's your only route to get Ivan Toney in, for example, then yeah, I would probably sell him. But March and McAllister. So the reason March is lower down my priority list this week is just there's a doubt about whether he plays both games or not. So that's what's causing the doubt in my mind. You're going to sell Estupinan. Morning fella, heavy night. No. If I look hungover, I'm sorry. It's because, yeah, I'm not feeling that tip top today. I haven't been for a week or so, but I'm on the mend. But no, thank you though. March or McAllister. So as it says on the top players to buy and on the captaincy ranking as well, it's McAllister out of the two for them. Any update on Odegaard? No, we haven't had anything since we were told that he was ill apparently, but no, we haven't had anything more. No transfers are going to be made in my squad. I'm 99% sure I'm going to lock it in like this. What sort of products do I use for my hair? I don't. It's all natural. Just a little bit of shampoo, a little bit of conditioner. Nothing more than that. Not kidding, I look like a young Tom Cruise. This is enough of the FPL questions. Let's just... Thoughts on Johnson for further game weeks? Yeah, so Brennan Johnson's a player that's got a little bit of... a little bit of chat recently. And I can understand why. He's done well. He's on penalties. They play in the blank. They have a nice double in 29. If you're looking for a cheap forward, he's probably the one that I would buy. If you're looking for a cheap forward, he's probably the one that I'd be buying. Should I sell Odegaard for Zaha this week and flip back in 2 weeks' time? I wouldn't be buying Zaha. No. Palace don't look confident enough. Palace just generally don't look good enough. Have a poll on how many ladies are on here today. No. Maddison or Ben White? I'll probably play Maddison out of the two. Yeah. Sell Martinelli for McAllister? Probably not. Only if you're going to captain McAllister. But if you're not going to captain him, they have the same number of fixtures over the next 2 weeks. Anyway, so I probably wouldn't. Although then you do walk into a McAllister double in 29. Yeah, maybe you do then because it saves you a transfer in game week 29. But if you're rolling the transfer, then I'd just roll it. But if you've got 2 transfers and you're looking for something to do, then yeah. You're thinking about benching Kane and playing Bruno instead as a differential. Oh, the talk of benching Kane in the chat, I just don't get it for me at all. No, I wouldn't be benching Harry Kane. Oh, but then if you're benching Bruno as well, I wouldn't want to be doing that. If I had to bench one of Bruno and Kane, I probably would bench Kane out of the two. But you have 4 double game week players. That is fine. That's enough. Is Raya a good pick for captain with 2 potential clean sheets and save points? Nah. Never going to advise anyone to captain a goalkeeper. Bench boost and triple captain left. Thoughts? Bench boost game week 29. Triple captain game week 34, probably. Wildcard team for this game week. It looks pretty similar. You'd probably go McAllister over March, but it's not that different to a lot of the wildcards that we saw last week, to be honest. I did post a wildcard draft on... the Fantasy Football Scout YouTube channel if you do want to go and have a look and check that one out. Remember, guys, if you have not already, please remember to like the stream if you have not already. Subscribe. We are going to try and hit 48,000 subscribers today. We are 140 subscribers away. So I'm sure there's 140 of you in here watching who have not subscribed already. When should the people who still have their wildcards wildcard? Game week 30 or game week 33, probably. If you're not playing it this week or next week, that is. That's if you're not playing it this week or next week, which are still decent enough times to be playing it. How am I approaching game week 28? I'll likely sell Haaland and then buy him back in game week 30 is the plan. Talk about the Toney, Mitoma, Captaincy debate. I have covered it. Just Brighton share goals a lot more than Brentford do. So Toney as well. As soon as one goal goes in, he's going to be on bonus. Although Brentford are not good away from home, Toney is just as good away from home. So I'm on a Toney captaincy for these reasons. I will subscribe if you say the City score prediction. 2-0 City. What's my rank aim for this season? Always top 10k. Always top 10k. Any news about Sanchez? No, we don't have it yet. We don't have... Sorry, any news about Sanchez? No, we don't have any news, but... I don't expect him to come back into the Brighton team. I expect it to be Steele. Is March captain a stupid idea? You're 3 million. I can understand if that's your rank why you'd want to do it, but he's not the one that I'd be captaining. I don't think there's very many situations that I'd captain him this week, to be honest. I know just because there is doubt about whether he plays both in the double. 2-0 Palace. Palace are a bogey team for City, but there's no chance. What are the Sunday games this week? Arsenal are Sunday, United are Sunday, West Ham, Villa, and then Newcastle Wolves. Wow, there's a lot on Sunday. Am I playing bench boost? No. I'll be playing my bench boost in game week 29. Yeah, and then free hit likely to be game week 32. That's the current plan, but game week 32, the blanks in game week 32 are not confirmed yet, so I can't confirm if I'm going to play my free hit that week until I know. Start 2 of Watkins, Kane, Martinelli, Zinchenko, Kane, Martinelli. Why is Odegaard flagged? So apparently he was ill. He missed the Europa League game and wasn't in the squad at all. Apparently it was through illness. So start Dallo or Perisic. Whichever you think's going to start. Dallo got hooked at half time. But Spurs and Perisic could easily rotate. I'd probably go Perisic, but because I think Wan-Bissaka might start. Where did I get my outfit from? T-shirt, I don't know. Some cheap t-shirt. And then this I got given. I think it's from Abercrombie, but I know. Expensive stuff. Got it for Christmas. Captain Kane, March or Haaland. You don't have Toney or Mitoma. Kane, March, or Harden. You don't have Toney. Then I probably would be going in on Solly March. I'd go for the double game week player still. Thank you for renewing your 4 months, Chabra. A Stupinan Henry / other for this week only. In defence, Stupinan is my number 1 defender for this week, for this game week. Ward to Steele. I don't know if you've got Kepa as your backup, then yeah, I would. But yeah. Yeah. Perisic might be injured. Check the presser. But Dallo might not start. At least if Perisic is, he's either going to play or not, is the only thing. Trying to look what they said in the presser on Perisic. He's massively transferred out, that's all I know, but Perisic will also be checked, is what they said, but yeah. Any Saka benching rumours? True. Given that they play tomorrow, I'd be surprised if anyone knows the Arsenal lineup. So I wouldn't believe anything that you're seeing. Trippier or Zinchenko. As per my lineup, I'd be playing Trippier. Would I start Saka or Watkins? I'd probably play Saka. Yeah, Saka. Triple captain Toney. No, I'd save your triple captaincy for game week 34 probably. Feeling good about taking the wild card? Well, no, because I'm about 25 points down, and then if I hadn't have played it last week. But I'm still happy with how my team looks this week. If it's going to pay off, it needs to pay off big time over the next 3 game weeks. So, is my team locked in? Yeah, I'm gonna roll with this one. Roll with it as it is. Chat is moving quite fast, so I am just going to put it in subscriber only mode. You don't have to subscribe for any amount of time. We are also 130 subscribers away from 48,000, so I'm sure there's 130 of you watching who are not subscribed. March or Toney captain? Ivan Toney, as per my captaincy ranking, which will be back up in just a second. Odegaard or Zinchenko first sub? Odegaard probably. Captain Ben Mee or Mitoma? I wouldn't be captaining Ben Mee. I would not be captaining Ben Mee. Salah or Haaland captain? I just can't imagine you don't have a better double game week player to be captaining. If I had to pick, I'd probably pick Salah, but I don't like either of them for captaincy that much this week based on where everyone else is putting their captaincy. And the mixed form that I suppose both are showing at the moment. Are there any rumours on March not starting? No. It's just a little bit of doubt about whether he'll play both games is the only thing on Solly March. If you have another Brighton midfielder, I would probably captain the other one, but if March does start both, he's a really good option. So it depends how much risk you really want to be taking. Rico Henry or Ben Mee? Rico Henry or Ben Mee? I'd probably just go Rico Henry. Unless you're on free hit, then probably Ben Mee, but to buy. Why did I not play my bench boost this week? Just because game week 29, my bench boost looks equally, well, it looks stronger because I'll have some double game weeks in there. So although I know I'll bench points this week, if I play my bench boost this week, I'll have more on my bench in game week 29, I think. So March versus Martinelli. Probably Martinelli, again, across the 2 game weeks. But then when game week 29 comes around, you'll be happy if you have March versus Martinelli. So that's just one thing to bear in mind. Captain Estupiñán, how do I rate him relative to March? Below, as per my captaincy ranking. I don't think I'd be captaining Estupiñán. Just because he has been carrying this knock as well. So, says Toney gets booked twice, gets a match ban. What will my backup plan? I'll have to sell him. And I'll probably sell him and Haaland to Iheanacho and Watkins if that is the case that he gets booked in both of these. But why not move Kane to Darwin? Because Darwin has Bournemouth this week, which is great, but he blanks in game week 28. And I'll then have Kane against Southampton next week, who will be a captaincy option going into next week, depending on how they look this week as well. How nailed is Chilwell to start every game in the next few? Not with us still being in the Champions League. I know the next Champions League game isn't for a while, but it depends how far forward you're looking. If you're looking at 27, 28 and the double in 29, then I don't think he starts all 4 of those, to be honest. I'd be surprised. Why don't I even think about Brighton mids for captaincy? I do. I thought about Mitoma, but I am going to go on Toney this week. Still, poll is still running. 3,500 votes and 56% of you are on Ivan Toney. Are all the games going ahead today? It looks like they are going to. It looks like they are all going to. We haven't seen any even rumours that they're not, so I will keep an eye on it, but it doesn't look like it. Jensen, Nordegaard or Janelt? Which would you pick or none of them? I don't love them, the Brentford mids, but they're okay just because they do play next week. Yeah, it definitely wouldn't be Janelt. Pretty certain it would be Jensen. If you had to buy one this week. He's a 90-minute man most of the time. And has the most returns, it looks like, as well. So Rashford or James Ward-Prowse? That is tough, actually. I was about to go Ward-Prowse, but I'm not sure I would. I still think I'd start Rashford. But Brighton Leeds game will be cancelled or not. It doesn't look like there's any doubt of it. There's any chance of it. No, nothing on potential games not happening. Is free hit next week a good option? If you don't have enough players, it's fine. A lot of us have planned that we don't need it next week, but I wouldn't let it put you off if that's how your team is set up. Toney for Darwin or Kane from -4? I mean, Kane gives you an extra fixture next week, so it would have to be Darwin. It would have to be Darwin. Tarkowski or Ake? I mean, probably Ake. Probably Ake. Triple Brighton mids on wildcard. I just don't know how you fit them in. If you can fit them in, fine, go for it. But I don't know how you're going to. If you can fit them in, then yeah, I probably would over Estupiñán. But I don't know if you can. And I don't know what it looks like with future planning of that team. If you've looked at all of that, then go for it. Do I risk the March captain? If you're chasing and you want to go for it, then that's fine. It's not something I would back personally. It's not something I'd back personally. Thanks for all the help till now. Tarkowski +4 or Stupinan. Probably Stupinan. Everton don't double in 29 as well, so it's probably worth it. Do I plan on getting any Liverpool assets anytime soon? There's a chance when Game Week 29 rolls around for their double that I consider it going back in on one of them, depending on how they look today and between now and then. But yeah, I'll find it hard to buy one, especially because their double is City away, Chelsea away. Like, it is a difficult double for them. What are my transfer plans for the bench boost? Yeah, so Haaland to Watkins, Martinelli to Fernandes, all Salah, and Zinchenko to Luke Shaw is the plan. Will Odegaard play? I think probably, but I don't have any news to back that up. How many double game week players do you think is enough? The thing is, there are so many good single game week fixtures this week that it's difficult to predict how many you need, because it's not like you're replacing difficult games with a good double. You're replacing good singles with good doubles. I would probably say, I was going to say 3. But even if you had 2 and the rest of your team's really nice, I wouldn't worry. Steele and me for Estupinan Raya to play with 11 in Game Week 28. I don't think it's worth 2 transfers just to be 1 player down. I don't think it's worth 2 transfers to here, if I'm honest. So no is the answer. Kane out, Darwin in. No, because Darwin blanks in Game Week 28, whereas Kane has a fixture. So we are 100 subscribers away from our target of 48,000 subscribers. And that would be massive if we could hit that during today's stream. So any support, any of you guys watching who are not subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button. And if you have not liked the stream as well, make sure to hit that like button. Why Toney captain over Mitoma? I've been through the Toney captaincy a lot. Although Brentford are not as good away from home, Toney's returns are equally good away from home. Their returns are very much focused around Ivan Toney. A goal straight away means bonus points for him a lot of the time. Mitoma, they share points around a lot, and it's very possible, looking at where Leeds and Crystal Palace concede chances, that it's down the other hand side, the right hand side of Brighton, the left hand side of the team's defence. Dima, thank you for joining as a channel member. You will get little emojis you can use. You get your questions highlighted in the chat and on videos as well. Thank you so much for joining as a member. I always get questions. Very quick plug on how you join as a member. So let me show you. You do have to be on a PC. You can't do it on phone, but there is a join button at the top next to the subscribe button, or where the subscribe button is normally for you guys. To start Trippier or Shaw? Probably Trippier, just because the attacking numbers are better. Shaw's looked tired as well recently. So if you only have 2 blank next week, is there a point in free hitting? No. I would only free hit next week if you have 7 or less. Even with 7, I might save it, depending on how good your 7 are. That's the other thing, is do you have 11, but are they all rubbish? Like if you got Everton defenders away at Chelsea, for example. But yeah. Is there? Have they added a join button on the phone? Have they? Let me look. No, they haven't. No, it's not there. It's not there. Well, not that I can see anyway. Will I bench boost in game week 29 is the plan for bench boost. Yeah, that's the plan. A couple of weeks away, then I'll be playing my bench boost. Why Henry, not me? It's just who I wildcarded in. And I don't think Ben Mee is worth it. I don't think Ben Mee's worth the money. FPL Raptor just called you a template merchant for captaincy. This guy. Unbelievable. What's my plan for this week? I'm going to roll my transfer and go with my team in as it is now. Only ever on your phone for YouTube. The only one that was hard to find was liking a video. I didn't know you could join as a member. I can't see it on mine when I look at other channels. So, but maybe it's there. Maybe I'm just missing it. Will March play both matches? I think the chances are yes, but he probably has the least chance of all of them. But I still think if I had to predict, he would. Good morning, everyone. Thank you to all the members joining. Yes, rolling the transfer this week. Rolling the transfer this week. You hope Robbo starts. How to check team news leak before. Yeah. We don't often... Well, Liverpool we might get. But I'll keep an eye on anything for you guys. Raptor said you're a captaincy template merchant. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, this guy. In his stream, chatting about me. Start one of Maddison, White and Odegaard. Probably Odegaard and hope he plays. The join button might only be on Android as Apple take a cut. Yeah, it might be on Android actually because I'm on iPhone and it's definitely not there. That would make sense. There's often a lot of distances between the two. Set on Toney. Yeah, my team's like this. I'm not going to change it. When am I going to free hit? Probably game week 28. Probably game week 28. Play Sanchez with Kepa on the bench or transfer out Sanchez. You have 3 Brentford players. I'd go Sanchez to steal. Tim, thank you for joining as a member. Welcome. Watkins, Cash, Chilwell, benching order. Probably Watkins, Chilwell, Cash. Probably Watkins, Chilwell, and then Cash. Just to prove a point, gives me an option of joining membership in the live chat. It's definitely an Android thing then. Live... Oh. The chat is really bad. It's a sort of plugin that OBS have with, or Streamlabs have with YouTube, and there's a problem with it at the moment. There has been for a while, but Raptors captaining McAllister. If I had McAllister, I would be tempted. He's my favourite of the 3. He is top out of them in my captaincy ranking, so I don't blame him. When will the best time to wildcard be? I mean, it depends on your team. I still think game week 27, 28, 30 and 33 are the windows for wildcard. Would I sell Perot for Brentford defender? No, I'd roll the transfer. Great content. Been watching since October and on top of every mini league. You're welcome. If I've got any part to play in that, we'll be doing even better if I followed your chip strategy. I don't know about that because I wildcarded last week, so would be even better. Son or Odegaard and hope he plays. I'll probably play. Well, no, I'll probably play Odegaard. I'll probably sell Son though. I'd sell Son to a Brighton defender and bench Odegaard. Is the Leeds Brighton game cancelled? No. 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 What do I think? What do you think? Would I play João Felix or Saka? Definitely Saka. Yeah. João Felix would be very low down the pecking order for players to start this week. Are we getting early team news today? I'll keep an eye on it if we get anything for Liverpool, but yeah, we don't always. Can you make a detailed video about how you look so fabulous every day? Yeah, I'll definitely do that. Any consideration for Martinelli potentially playing as a striker? I hate benching Martinelli this week, but I just don't see where I start him. And some people will say Kane, but fine. But yeah, I don't see it. Can you give us your reasoning for Toney over Mitoma on March? So March, I'm not confident that he necessarily plays both with the press conference quotes that we've had. Mitoma, I don't dislike as a captaincy, but just the goals for Brentford are so focused around Ivan Toney and they're not focused around the Brighton players in the same way. They're not focused around the Brighton players in the same way. So if there's a goal and Toney gets it, the bonus points straight away are massive for Toney. Do I like the Haaland out move for a short period in the next weeks? Yeah, so I'm likely to sell Haaland going into Gameweek 28. That is the current plan I have on it. Yes. Less than half an hour to go until the deadline. Watkins or Ings? Probably Watkins. Ings is a walking injury headache for you. So yeah. Is Brighton Leeds match still on? Yes. We haven't heard anything to make us think otherwise. Am I bench boosting? No, I'm not playing my bench boost this week. Start Martinelli or Iheanacho? Martinelli or Iheanacho? Martinelli. Definitely. Haaland captain? No. Put on a double game week player. What do I think? Henry for a -4. Yeah. It's not. It's a no from me. It's not worth it. They need 2 clean sheets for a -4 for a defender to really pay off this week. So I wouldn't do it. Especially because they're doubling game week 29 isn't that great. Who to captain? I'm on a Toney captain. I know people are disagreeing with me, but that's where my captaincy is, and it is where it's going to stay come the deadline in 27 minutes. Take Maddison or Odegaard on wildcard. Probably, it depends if you need to start them this week, but I'd probably say Maddison. What news suggests March won't play both? Just because every press conference they say, yeah, March is fine. Like, why do they need to say that if he's not? And he did miss that cup game a couple of weeks ago when he wasn't fine. So is this locked in? Yes. Yeah, this is going to be my team. This is going to be my team. Why not bench boost? You got the team for it. Because my bench will be bench boostable in game week 29 as well. So I can't have it both ways. Top 2 differential wildcard picks this week. Triple Brighton midfield is, in theory, the individual players are not differentials, but the play is a big differential. So I'd probably try and find a way to do that. And then, my wildcard draft on the Scout channel had no Haaland and no Salah in as well, which I think works well next week. I am wrong if I decide to play Botman this week. I mean, I don't know who you're benching. I don't hate playing Botman. I mean, he is last on my bench, but that's just because I have such good bench this week, like a lot of people do. Saying hi from Indonesia. Hello, hello. My plans next week is Haaland to Ollie Watkins at the moment, but I will have a transfer plans video out closer to the deadline, or next week, which will hopefully give you a bit of a better picture of what I'm planning with my team in the next couple of weeks. We are 60 subscribers away from 48,000. Please don't leave it for someone else. There must be 60 of you watching who are not subscribed already. Robbo or Trippier to start? Probably Trips. Do I believe Newcastle will keep a clean sheet? Yes, I do. Tempted to captain Rashford. I understand it on a single game week player, but it's not for me this week. No, the good doubles are there. Harry, am I in a relationship? I am. Been together a very long time as well. What if Toney gets 2 yellows this game week? Then I'm going to have to sell him going into the blank, and that's going to be a real pain. But yeah. Brighton Leeds game will be cancelled or not. It doesn't look like it. Why don't I have Salah in your team? I just took him out of my wildcard last week. Thought he was a rubbish asset, and now he's really good asset again. So Saliba or Shaw? I'd play Shaw this week. Oh, I think Shaw needs a rest. Shaw looks knackered at the moment. I look knackered at the moment, but Shaw definitely looks knackered at the moment. Is it necessary to bring in a player from Liverpool this period? No, because they blank next week, right? Gandhi will show his true colours today in the early kickoff. Let's hope so. Bournemouth win. With that team right now, is it possible you could get Bruno Fernandes in the future? Yeah, so my transfer plan, I've got enough money in the bank to do Martinelli up to Bruno Fernandes in Gameweek 29. That's my plan. Now, if Liverpool look really good, I may have to think, okay, I need to go and buy Mo Salah instead, but I will have the money to do Martinelli to either Bruno or Mo Salah in Gameweek 29. You're from Aizawl in India. You watch every week. Please check it out on Google Maps. I will. After the stream. If you're free hitting next week, will I lose 2 free transfers? Yes, but I'm not free hitting next week. Any Liverpool news? Nothing yet. Nothing yet on Liverpool. If you're free hitting next week, will I lose your 2 free transfers? Yes. So if you free hit, it will use up all your transfers and you'll be left with 1 the following week. So yes, if you roll your transfer this week and free hit next week, you will basically waste a transfer. So you may as well make a transfer this week if you are free hitting next week. From the Maldives, much love. Welcome. Is Salah a good captaincy? Is okay. I wouldn't want to captain Salah in an early kickoff with a double game week when he only has a single. It's asking to ruin your weekend. Start Botman or Odegaard? Odegaard. Salah as a captain, yeah, not for me. What should I do if you still have your triple captain? I think game week 24 is still sorry, game week 34 is still the week that I'll be looking to play a triple captain, or 37. But there's going to be other doubles, and City are going to have a double. So, yeah. Best replacement for Luke Shaw. You've got Trippier, Chilwell, Pinnock, and a Stupinan. Doesn't leave that much unless you double up on Newcastle, like I've got in there, for example. Emerson Royale, I'm not sure he's going to start. Rolling the transfer, yes. Seems I don't feel okay. Yeah, I'm getting through this stream and then I'm going to go and rest up. What to do with Sanchez? I'd sell him this week. If you need him this week, if you need a goalkeeper this week, Sanchez to steal feels obvious. Harry, mate, we even had our banner in Stamford Bridge. Oh, do you? I'll look out for it next time I'm there, which is next weekend when we have Everton at home. So Brighton Leeds, I don't think it's going to get cancelled. Sanchez, I would sell. Start Felix or Odegaard. I'd go Odegaard. Toney will end up with 1 return. They're good fixtures for Toney, though. Does Brighton news mean March is injured? No. No, March isn't injured. It's just whether he's going to start both. But I think he will. He's got the least chance of starting both of all the Brighton mids, but I still think he has a more than 50% chance of starting both. Watkins or Odegaard starting? I'd start Odegaard. Any Bamford player from -4 other than Toney? Watkins, but don't necessarily need him this week, but probably Watkins. Has Nketiah lost his spot? Yeah, if you have Nketiah, I would sell him. If you have Nketiah, I would sell him. Would I sell Odegaard? Only if you went to a Brighton midfielder, but even then, I'm not sure I would. Because I think he plays, Free hit or wild card for game week 28. Free hit or wild card for game week 28. I think wild card is still better. You probably won't put out 11 players still, but I think that's fine. But a free hit, it depends how many you've got out. You could just try and play through it. A wildcard 29 could be a lot more valuable because we'll likely know what the 34 doubles look like by game week 29. So why Toney as a captain and why not Mitoma? I'm being just as soon as they score Brentford and it's Toney involvement, he just goes straight up the bonus points and it's easy for him to get like a 7-8 pointer, which I'm okay with. Mitoma is a good option, right? And Brighton, don't get me wrong, I like them and I'm happy I've got 2 of them, but the points often, like, it can go to any of them. Who's the best differential to break away from the template? Bruno in for Martinelli, even if he blanks next game week. Already have 3 Brentford Brighton. No, because Martinelli over the next 2 with 2 fixtures over Bruno with 1. But Bruno in 29 is a nice player to be buying. I don't think this is necessarily the week to be trying to break away from the template with a single game week player. If you want to try and break the template this week, you probably need to be looking at a double game week player. Still trying to look if there's any Liverpool news for you all. Start Martinelli over Rashford. No, I wouldn't. Rashford for me. Martinelli or Rashford? Yeah, well, I'm starting Rashford in my team. Worth transferring out KDB to March or McAllister? Yes, I'd go KDB to McAllister. Is March injured? No. No, March should be fine. Is my team locked? Yes. Yeah, my team is locked. My team is locked. We are 35 subscribers away from our target of 48,000. So if you have not subscribed already and you are watching, please do hit that subscribe button. Play Odegaard or Martinelli. Martinelli. Do I think Ward is good? Ward is fine. He doubles in 29, which is probably the only week you're going to need him. If you're going to need him in more than 1 week, then yeah, I'd probably sell him. Brentford have 2 away wins all season. True, but Ivan Toney has. His away goals are just as good as his home goals. So, too cheeky to start Nathan Patterson to auto subs best replacement. I wouldn't, because I don't think... Do we know he's ruled out of this week? We don't. He played with the under-21s again last week. So, in theory, he could be back. In theory, he could be back. They said he'll be assessed. So we don't actually know on him, so I wouldn't take that risk. Bench boost this week. It's a fine week to play a bench boost, but it's probably not. I still prefer game week 29 out of the 2. Ward Prowse is fine. It's not the best double, but because one of them's away at United. Chip strategy is a bench boost in game week 29 and a free hit in game week 32 or game week 34, depending on how big the blank in game week 32 looks. Wait, if Toney gets a yellow card in the first game, no, he needs 2 yellow cards to be suspended because he didn't pick one. He didn't get one. He's on 8 yellows. He needs 2 more. To play Mahrez over Odegaard. Good luck predicting who's going to start on that wing for Man City. I'd probably play Odegaard. And if Mahrez starts, then fair. But I can afford to do Odegaard to Salah from -4, 1 week punt. You're on wildcard 28. I don't think I'd do that for a -4. I just don't think it's worth it. I know it's for a 1 week punt, and that makes me even less likely. Nah. Any early team news? Let me check again. Let me check again for you all. By March or McAllister. I definitely buy McAllister. If I was on wildcard this week, it would be McAllister and Mitoma as my 2 that I would have. Sell Darwin or Haaland to Toney. Sell Darwin or Haaland. Probably Haaland. I hate saying that because I don't want to sell Haaland this week. But you do have the double for Darwin in 29, whereas you don't have a double for Haaland in game week 29. So if you have to do that, then yeah. 1,600 of you. Thank you. Have we hit? We are 7 subscribers away from 48,000. Please answer Sanchez to steal for a -4. There's team news. There's not. There's not. Not that I can see there's anything yet. No. Sanchez to who? You already have triple Brentford. Probably I'd just go Steele of Brighton and just have him as well. Because it looks like he's going to be the one who's going to be starting. Looks like he's going to be the one that's going to be starting. How important is a double game week goalkeeper? Is a -4 worth it? No. I wouldn't take a -4 for a double game week goalkeeper. Keep up the great content. Thank you. Thank you all. Sanchez to who? You already have triple Brentford, yeah. Steele. People are saying that there's team news, but I can't see it anywhere. God, I need to eat something. Raspberry or strawberry yogurt? Strawberry. March as a risk captain, is it good? I probably wouldn't be putting it on captaincy on March. I just don't think I would do it. I would captain Mitoma, I'd captain McAllister, but I don't think I'd captain Solly March this week. Went to triple captain. Game week 34 is probably looking like your best bet this week. It pains me having no Liverpool playing versus Bournemouth. I know, but team news, trolls. I don't see the team news, and I'm only gonna check Insta. Yeah, he does. He says no shocks, all decent FPL assets start, which means Salah starts, it'll mean Darwin starts, it'll probably mean Trent and Robbo start as well with Van Dijk in defence. Yeah. No shocks, all decent FPL assets start. Toney does also take free kicks, you are correct. Right. I know it's 7 minutes to the deadline, but as you can see, I'm flagging a little bit. So I am going to end the stream and go and have a little bit of a rest and get something to eat and try and build my energy up. Thoughts on the Stupinan captain, likely clean sheet due to the weather. I don't think I'd be putting a captaincy on a defender this week. I've mentioned it. I just don't think I would do it this week. I know why people would do it, but yeah. But I am going to end the stream now, guys. If you want to go and check out... who should we go with? Who shall we go with for the final? Let's go and give... Yeah, Max, I wouldn't captain a Stupinan. Let's go with Oscar. Go and say hello to Oscar. Tell him that I sent you. And yeah, I will be back with a video on Sunday evening or tomorrow evening even, I think. Yes, I will also post FPL Raptors link in the stream for anyone who wants to go and watch Ross as well. The two that I would always find it hard to know which one to send you both to. So go and click on one of these links and let them know that I sent you both. Thank you all so much for your support. Thank you for 48,000 subscribers. Good luck this week. My team is locked in. I know I'm ending it a little bit soon, but it's just been a long stream, a long week for me. March, I wouldn't captain. March, I would be fine starting, but I wouldn't captain. Thank you all. Click one of those links. Go and say hello to both of them. Let me know that I sent you, and I will see you all again very soon. Thanks, guys.